Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Lake Taneycomo in Branson, Missouri. It is the 8th of January, Sunday, and this is the one cast. So today, boated up, I'm sitting just about 100 yards above the River Bluff Estates boat ramp. And it's about noon or a little bit after. It's cloudy. It's a little bit colder today. High of 49, I believe. Probably not quite that warm yet. And I got some fly rods with me today. The first item on the hit list today is going to be the Mopsicle. A relatively new fly to the shop. We got one color in the last time we tried them out. We had some success on them, and so we ordered some new colors. This one has a little purple flash collar. It is orange with some UV blue flash in the orange, and it has a gold or copper colored head. Either a copper bead or a tungsten bead painted copper, one of the two. And I've got that set about 5.5 foot deep or so. We are setting in 5.5 foot of water right now. At least last time I checked the depth finder before I walked up here. And I'm going to be casting out just into a little bit deeper water here. This specific stretch is a flat, and then it drops off. I am setting roughly about where that drop starts. I'm going to try to get this thing way out there so I have some time to work it back in. There we go. Not very many people on the water today. I think I've passed two boats. One looked like they were headed back to the boat ramp, and the other was just fishing down by Short Creek. I was hoping to get up here and find a bit of chop. However, the lake is relatively dead today. Ooh, okay, I guess nothing on the first cast. Totally thought I had a fish there. Really seemed like it. I don't know if maybe it should be 7 to 8 foot deep where I'm casting. I don't think I hit the bottom, but it is possible. This I've got one of the Pulsa indicators, which is the little foam stick-on indicators here. This fly is definitely not heavy enough to drag that under, so I was either attached to a fish or attached to the bottom. One of the two. You guys know I'm a big believer in when the water's turned off, finding the chop. However, there just isn't much out here today, so we're just gonna have to move that bait around and hope we can find a hungry or less than smart trout. I do have a backup plan with me if I decide this isn't working. I also have a different color to try on the Mopsicle, but I might save that for a different video. You can only fit so much into 20 or 30 minutes, and I want to give it a fair chance. Yesterday's Boswell Memorial Tournament went pretty well. Most of the guys that Nathan and I talked to on our way up the lake doing photography and to do the one cast had all reported slow fishing or lots of little fish. There's one. However, once the afternoon came and went by to the 1 o'clock area, we started seeing big fish getting turned in. Many of them were browns. There was one rainbow that weighed 9.09 pounds that was caught. Inevitably, that team also won the tournament with a total of 17 pounds. But there was at least 5 or 6 really nice sized fish that were turned in yesterday. And they all seem to come out to play in the afternoon instead of the morning. Kind of interesting. Usually the morning time's kind of the hot time when everyone goes out and they're back at the dock within 45 minutes with a big fish, but that was not the case yesterday. Lots of teams turned in weights. That's probably one of the best turnouts for most of the teams weighing in that I've seen in the last few tournaments over the last year, so it's pretty good stuff. And there's just enough wind out here to slightly blow my boat off the target line that I'm trying to hold it on, so I'm gonna scoot back just a little bit here. But yeah, 17 pounds, super impressive bag. Our other top finishers were in the 10 and 9 pound range through 4th place. And there is a trout being chased. If you ever see a trout in succession jumping forward out of the water multiple times in a row, he is most likely being chased by another large trout. Those are the times when I always try to, if I'm out fishing in my own boat and prepared, I would have a jerkbait ready and I would toss it into that pile and hope that he looks in my direction and targets the jerkbait, which that has worked for me before. 2 springs ago, whenever there was some extra shad in the lake, and this was all usually down from the resort, not up here, but at least the times when I was successful in doing it, between the resort and Monkey Island, see one of those happening near the boat and get the jerkbait out, and I have caught a few browns in the 6 to 8 pound range, just being in the right place at the right time with the right equipment. I know we talked about it about a month ago. They did a pretty big stocking. There's a lot of stalker trout in here, so those big trout that have been living here for a long time are having a heyday with some of those. Kind of like the one I just caught. He would be a perfect victim. The other method I have with me today, gentleman from the tournament, if you watch this one cast, and you can go ahead and comment and tell me I'm lame for not remembering your name, but they were fishing I believe they were using fly rods, fishing a jig, 50th ounce on the bottom with a scud roughly about a foot above. I think it's something we may have done on a one cast before. I know it may even have been the same guy who told us about it last year, but I know Phil came out here and gave it a try. Kind of get over here in this water and cast out into the deeper, and they said yesterday they caught a ton of fish. I believe they placed in the top 10 yesterday on the tournament. But they say they catch just as many fish on the jig underneath that float as they do the scud. So kind of ideally it drops the jig to the bottom and the scud kind of in the strike zone of where those fish are down there on the bottom looking for them. So pretty effective. And I have one of those rigged up with me as well in case my mopsicle idea was a total bust. And I might still break it out just for fun here shortly. Give the mopsicle another chance to see if we can catch another fish before I put it away. The gray mopsicle that we just got in has a lot of that blue flash on it, and honestly it really is about the size of a scud, so it might be a good replacement for putting above, per se, a jig underneath the float. I am still casting this out as far as I can get it. That way I have room to move the fly every 5 or 10 seconds. Just get some motion in it. Like the sun may pop out to join us here for a moment. Oh boy, who's calling me now? Fish just jumped directly off the nose of my boat. Yeah, so once again, I think that we would have a little bit more success doing this right now, either method that I brought with me today, if the water wasn't so flat. The cloudiness was helping, however, now the sun is out, so also a disadvantage here. But these mopsicles are very petite, and I think that they'll be a fairly effective fly to have on your line in unison with another one, or just in your arsenal. And I think after this cast, we're gonna go ahead, switch it up, and go with the jig and scud rig. All right, we're gonna do it. The only other things I didn't play with using this mop fly today, I might have had that set a little too deep actually. Now that I'm looking at it, that's might be more than 5.5. Yeah, I think I had that set more like 7. So that might have been a little too deep. That trout that I did catch may have picked that up off the bottom and not so much suspended. So may have been a user error on my end right there too. So I now have my 50th ounce Sculpin and Ginger jig with a brown head. I have a size 16 crystal gray scud, and I do have this one set more like 6 foot. So, and yeah, now looking at it, I can tell you that the other one was set deeper than that. So, might have been just catching 1 or 2 more fish on that. Might have just been a matter of putting it at the proper depth. After the video goes off today, I'll set it a little shallower and see if it makes a difference. If it starts working really good, I'll turn the video back on. Oh, that was a bite. I have one of my night fishing indicators on here. It's one that I use to hold up like 1/32 ounce jigs at night. So it might be slightly too big for this. That was definitely a bite. However, it just barely riffled the water. So I'm just gonna have to watch a little bit closer here. Okay. Well, glad we got to see a fish today. Hopefully the next time I come out to try these things, the conditions will be right and I'll remember how to set something at the proper depth. But we thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll be back out again tomorrow. Until then,